If you're watching this, never ignore your gut feeling when it tells you something's wrong. Just get the hell out of there. We thought ghosts weren't real until we found out the hard way. This is the story of a couple, Jason and Alyssa. They're my close friends and full-time travelers who hike, camp, and explore remote places around the world. They're the ones who told me what happened, and honestly, it blew my mind. So I thought, why not share it with you? From here on, I'm going to narrate the story from Jason's point of view, so you can feel what they experienced. We were looking for the best location, and we found a tiny village on some sketchy site. The pictures were amazing. Dense woods, wooden houses, misty fields. It felt too perfect, and it was way too cheap. When we arrived, the village was dead quiet. A few people stared at us, but didn't really speak English. The house was rustic, but livable. I joked, okay, this is definitely haunted. Alyssa rolled her eyes and said, come on, ghosts aren't real, just creepy old wood. That night, we stayed in the old house. Dinner was weird. The dishes were strange, but honestly, not bad. We were at least trying something new. The whole experience felt fresh and exciting. But the first night was unsettling. It was too quiet. No cars, no animals, just silence. The kind of silence that presses against your chest. The next day, we tried exploring the village more. The locals didn't speak English, so we didn't push too hard. After breakfast, we packed light gear and found a lesser-known trail online. It had barely any reviews. One forum mentioned it was once closed due to wild animal sightings, but we figured that was old news. We hiked all day. The trees got thicker, the trail almost disappeared. Even birds stopped chirping. Alyssa said, it's kinda too quiet, don't you think? I shrugged it off and said, it's just nature being nature. Eventually, we reached the top of a hill, found a flat ridge with an amazing view, and set up our tent there. Built a little campfire, made dinner, and were really enjoying ourselves. But just as we were about to eat, we heard something in the bushes. Alyssa whispered, did you hear that? We grabbed the flashlight, checked everything. Nothing. I assumed it was a wild animal sniffing around. We laughed it off. I had brought a pistol for safety, so I felt secure. I mean, what could really go wrong? But here's where the real story begins. If you're lighthearted, or if you love camping in the hills, maybe don't listen to this at night. After dinner, we went inside the tent. That's when we heard it. This time, not rustling. It was a woman's voice. She was mumbling something, but not in English. Fast, low, almost like chanting. It sounded like she was speaking in a language we couldn't recognize. I shouted, what do you want? Get away from here. I have a gun. But nothing changed. She didn't stop. Then she started crying, loudly, and then running. The sound just vanished into the forest. Alyssa was panicking. She kept saying, someone's watching us, behind the trees. She begged me to leave, so we started packing. But as we did, we heard both a woman and a child crying, together. I swear to God, I'll never forget that sound. We saw flickering shadows. Something was moving through the trees. Then we heard a drum being played, like a slow ritual beat. That's when a shadow appeared, walking toward our tent. I raised the pistol and yelled, stay the f*** back! But the mumbling voice continued, closer this time, circling the tent. That same strange chanting rhythm over and over. I looked at Alyssa. She was pale, frozen, terrified. The shadow got closer, and then it started tearing the tent open. I fired. Multiple times. It suddenly stopped, and whatever it was ran off into the trees. We didn't wait. We grabbed the flashlight and gun, left everything behind, tent, gear, food, and just ran down the trail toward the village. It took us about 40 minutes to reach the bottom. The villagers didn't understand what we were saying, but they saw our faces. They knew something had happened. The next morning, I convinced a few of them to come back up with me. Alyssa stayed behind, still shaken. When we got back to the tent, we found barefoot prints all around it. Huge ones, long toes, but no blood, despite all the shots I fired. We packed our things as fast as possible and left. That same day, we flew back to home. To this day, Alyssa still has nightmares. She's in therapy, trying to work through the trauma. It's not easy. And Jason told me this story for the first time. It absolutely freaked me out. So here's what I'll leave you with. If you love hiking, never go solo. If you find a random trail with no reviews, skip it. And always, do some research before hiking. They were lucky, seriously lucky, to make it back. If you enjoy real, bone-chilling stories like this, go ahead and subscribe. I'm already working on the next one. It just needs a little editing. And trust me, it's just as terrifying. So hit that subscribe button. It lets me know you're into this stuff, and you'll get notified the moment the next video drops. Until then, stay safe, don't ignore your instincts, and I really hope you sleep peacefully tonight.